Carsten.
Richard.
So thank you for talking to me. I just thought it'd be really nice for us to run through the programme. We've been on now a monumental 10 years.
Yes, indeed. I still remember arriving here in 2014 and not having a clue what to expect it. But you know, we were here as a emergency measure because the original destination got shut down by the Foreign and Commonwealth.
That's
Office.
right, you were referred to by a different university.
Yeah, I think University of South Glamorgan.
And
Yep.
so you came to us, and you've been here for 10 years. So ever since, only missing 1 or 2 years, I think, 3 years in total. So it's actually over a 13-year span of coming here. And this has also been a monumental time for you because you've actually completed your 200th dive yesterday with us, which was really nice. And all of your diving, I think, has been here?
Yeah, all my diving has been here.
All 200 dives here with us. So you come on the annual field trip every year, which is your university.
Yeah, Cardiff University, the Marine Conservation Field Course, run as a module, part of the ecology module. We just revalidated the field courses, will continue to run, and it's one of a portfolio of 4 field courses, if I get it right.
So this is by far the most interesting.
Well,
no need to answer. The correct answer is yes. We already know the answer. So tell us, Carsten, for people watching that don't know who you are, what is your position and your role?
Yeah, I'm reader at Cardiff University in the School of Biosciences, and I was given the brief to develop a field course in marine conservation in 2013 and started and given the site in the Sukut Marine Island Marine Conservation Area, Simca, in the northeast of Sabah. And unfortunately, after I just scouted that out, pirates had just abducted a couple of people or attacked Sandakan. And all I could think of was, oh my God, and yes, the foreign.
But you came to us, obviously. I mean, actually, what I'm really interested in is your role in the university, which is to develop programs like this.
Yes.
Your actual title, what is that?
My title is reader.
Reader.
Yeah, or associate professor in American speech.
Okay.
And I've been developing, teaching on all levels, a variety of topics, starting with chemistry, because believe it or not, I trained as a chemist, not a biologist. And in second year it's animal diversity, or was animal diversity and adaptation. So I particularly, and this goes back to my PhD, who was in marine chemical ecology. I'm from North Germany, I'm from the tidal ranges. I love my mud flats, and so my PhD was on ragworms of all species, and so I do have a quite good understanding of marine environments. So
have you been with Cardiff University for that duration of time?
I've arrived in Cardiff University as a Marie Curie Fellow in 1997.
97, so you've been there ever since. Yeah. Tell us more about this field course. This is a great opportunity for your students, I think.
Yeah.
I know that I've asked many students in the past from multiple universities why they chose the uni that they're with. And often the answer is the field course.
Yeah, this is the same true with Cardiff University in general. We have a very good field course offer, but in recent years were discovered on selection this year that at least two students deliberately choose Cardiff, not just for field courses, but for the marine conservation field course.
Well, you're one of the few universities now that actually are prepared to incorporate scuba diving into your program. Often they will come and snorkel.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the safety aspect, because the reason that many of them don't like to is they fear the unknown. People in your position perhaps are not scuba divers.
Yeah,
experienced diver now.
I think that has a lot to do with, I worked on research vessels, not big ones, just around the North Sea. So I'm very well used and to the fact that if you have the proper training and if you have the proper gear and proper team, it's safe. But you do have a trained crew.
So what made you choose? I mean, I know you were referred to us by another uni, but what is it that stood out that made you feel, okay, I'm comfortable to go there for the next 10, 15, 20 years, who knows?
Well, my colleague basically said he felt very safe, he felt very well treated. It's a good outfit, it's an amazing diversity around place to go. And I had just looking at websites and the likes. I've never scuba dived before when I arrived here the first time, but to the best of my knowledge, I could not see any fault. There's training records, there is a reputation as well. I then later on learned that even the army comes here to be trained, and I definitely know they have so much paperwork they wouldn't touch you with a bathful.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's one of the things in the modern day business model. You know, we have to do all of our audits and you know, various due diligence checks, which quite frankly is quite right to do.
Yeah.
And it's very important to do. So we tick the boxes in terms of safety for you. That's really nice. And we tick the boxes in terms of location.
Yes.
How about the actual core of the project, which is, or the field course, which is these students? Do you feel that they really enjoy their time with us?
I have yet to find a student who hated the field course. For most of them, for some of them, it was, in their own words, life-changing. Quite a couple of them went on to become marine scientists. They really were so inspired. Quite a few stayed on to scuba dive. They all love it. And particularly our special accommodation and
yeah,
the luxury.
Your wonderful luxury camp that we set. Well, one of the things that I love about this place, a very simple, straightforward place. We are a 5-star CDC centre, but that award is not given for a standard of accommodation. That award is given for level of training and experience by the PADI organisation.
Yeah, and again, in my reading of things, with a field course with scuba diving, exactly the level of training, the level of maintenance and equipment is way more important than the level of accommodation. And I was loath to go to a resort like where the staff trained for scuba diving is a bit wonky.
Well, it's also not the reality of a field trip.
Nope.
The reality of being a scientist working in the field, which is what both you and I and Frank, of course, are setting out as our core objective, is to prepare these people for that. Usually in very rough and ready accommodation, sometimes really quite challenging, out in the field to discover new information and be real scientists. So I think that this course actually more than prepares them for that.
It does prepare them very well. And I think what is really stands out with this course is because we don't have a portfolio of projects. Now with 10 years coming here, there are some topics coming up. If students ask and want to do them, we can pick them up again, which happened this year with the barrel sponges and the coral bleaching. By and large, the very core of this project is to get the students out into this diversity, and that's where your expertise comes in, because you are not focused on a specific question, but you basically observe what you can find. And given your decades of diving here, there's a lot of fun facts. So the focus of the course is for the students to develop the scientific thinking, to think of a project, to think of mechanisms. And then, as you said, it's field course, and even with the best fitted field station, resources will be limited. Time or equipment, and then
budget.
You have to make a
budget always comes into it, doesn't it? I mean, budget comes into your field trip, but also the reality of scientific research. Tell me about the students themselves. What topics or what are they studying in their degree? Because we got the degree, we have the masters,
it's
and sometimes even PhD.
The PhD is generally just joined in. Charlotte joined in because for her it would be access to bearded pigs. They're on the island, and an opportunity to join in. She will stay on in Danagirang as well, in our field station there. And so just was an opportunity not to be missed. But normally it's the students from the Global Ecology and Conservation Masters, MSc, we offer at Cardiff University, and the biology students in the second year who do the ecology module.
So they're on their bachelors.
Yeah.
With regards to this program, have you got any particular comments about this last couple of weeks?
Or the last
stood out, perhaps? Or
what stood out really this year is that this cohort of students was very engaged in data analysis and data evaluation. So that's the first cohort of students that went to bed later than me, which is quite bamboozling. Normally, I'm the last one to hit the bed, and And also this year it was more so than in previous year, almost like working on a research vessel, where you provide the technical expertise and, more importantly, also the knowledge about abundances and habitat and all that, which, although coming back for 10 years now, I have a bit better idea, but yeah, it doesn't
I was
drive
going
up.
to say, you know, you've spoken a couple of times about what I contribute in terms of perhaps videography. We talked a lot in the past as well. I contribute with film and my local knowledge over 20 years now of this immediate area, which is obviously very useful. But you and Frank now have been back so many times and done, as you say, 200 dives here. So you've actually got a wealth of local knowledge to deliver to your program as well.
Yes, so we do have the same. It's basically you can almost look at it like the white beam that comes in first, and our role is really to develop it into research project together with the students. So they get the idea, and then we talk, and we spend endless nights talking about projects, kicking out some ideas because they were not feasible. But there's a big element, and that's also the fun bit with the students. Well, but it just doesn't work, and we just shrug off shoulders. That's science. You go underwater, you see whether you can actually do it. And it varies with ability, objectives, motivation. But this year we had an absolute stunning transect team. They were wheeling out transects faster than I could count.
I personally can tell you, you know, I've seen a lot of people coming here to do programs like this, and of course I've personally been involved in every single program that you've done here with us, and it's been a true pleasure. This year I can honestly say that I think it's the strongest group we've ever had. It's actually your largest group. You brought 20 students this year.
No, plus 17 students, one PhD, and Frank and me.
Okay, so 20 of you in total for us to host here. And they have all been an absolute gem of pleasure to deal with. So enthusiastic. Food.
Oh dear.
And schedule. These are two last things that I'd like to chat about.
Food is really interesting. When we came back after COVID, 2 courses lost because of it. I still thank you for the virtual one into 2020, which was nowhere as good, but the students got a flavour of it.
Well, we had no choice, but a virtual one was my pleasure because it gave me hope. You know, seeing you guys in Cardiff on Zoom and then doing basically a virtual field course was just a wonderful experience for me, because it just kept me my feet on the ground and to get through that very difficult time. So I thank you for that. But food, do your students enjoy our food?
Well, that's what I was going to say. And in 2020, when we came back, we were a bit surprised, pleasantly, not negatively, just surprised. It's all vegetarian, and the emptying of a chicken barn had stopped, and the food was very good then. And but this year, I think it broke all records. It was utterly delicious. There's a variety of vegetables and dishes, and the students fully agreed, from starting having the odd sambal with the food. Now it's a bit like, where is the sambal? And not only that, but the sambal bowl, however big it is almost empty at the end.
I know, you guys clear it. It's like feeding a herd of cattle with the sambal bowl. We made a conscious choice to go vegetarian fully. Basically, there are a number of reasons why you can strengthen the argument, but basically animal welfare. I'd built the cat rescue centre, which my company funded and built near Papar here in Sabah. And next to that, when we were going through the construction stage of that project, I was next to a chicken farm, and I visited. And I think that probably anyone who visits a chicken farm in any country, quite frankly, will be, if you care about animals, just utterly horrified. And I'm not going to pretend I'm a total vegetarian, but I made then the decision, okay, we need to change. We serve usually only 1 meal a day here for our regular customers, but you guys obviously stay. But the key for us is freshness and a diverse range of foods and local produce. Other than just animal welfare, which is our key reason, it's also health. It's better food for you, it's healthier food, and it's very difficult to make people sick with vegetarian food. So even from the perspective of delivering a quality service in our simple kitchens, but effective. You know, we can feed large volumes of people safely, tastily. So thank you for your comments on the food and your understanding and the fact that you enjoy it. The itinerary that we usually do 2 dives in the morning, and you spend then the late afternoons. What do you do during that time?
Well, basically the 2 dives, and then it's usually time for lunch, and then there is a bit of a lull from 2 to 4 during the biggest heat, and then from 4 o'clock onwards, students then work on data entry. And this year we had basically with 6 o'clock is the briefing. We had a couple of topic presentations. Charlotte was telling the students what she's doing with her pigs, basically. And we also had a visitor, a student who was on the field course 8 years ago, who's now doing her PhD in Danang and Cardiff. Jessica, she came back to give a presentation on what she is doing now here. That was a lunchtime presentation. And then we do have then the latter days, sort of after the first week almost, we then have regular project table rounds where the students also present what they are doing, not present, talk about it. Which again sharpens the mind and also makes the other students aware. And that was this year working very well indeed, because the buddy teams obviously need to work with what they are doing, so that they have the same objectives on the reef and don't disperse into the blue yonder. And this year, with particularly the wreck dives were interesting. The students got data out of them, though the visibility wasn't really great. But more importantly, the group stayed together, the buddy team stayed together, so it was really technically very well executed and scientifically very well executed.
I think that their dive skill is one of the things that always amazes me. Most of the students come as non-divers, and in the early part of the program, you spend basically a couple of weeks with us, and the early part of the program they learn to dive or take a course of some kind, whether that be open water, entry level, or advanced, or even rescue this year we've had. But after that, then they go into their field work, and we work a lot on buoyancy control. And by the time they leave, they are divers with probably, I would say, their average person that might be an avid diver's experience that takes them a year or 2 to get. They leave us with that level of skill, and it's quite remarkable how controlled they are in the water by the time they leave us.
I do agree, and that's been true over the years, obviously with variations between cohorts. But yes, the level of diving skills they have, buoyancy control at the end of the course, is pretty impressive, given that I worked my way up from open water, advanced rescue to 200 dives, and can now say
you're a master scuba diver.
I'm a master scuba diver, yes, and I can float quite happily in the water and not move much.
Well, it's really nice. Both you and Frank now are master scuba divers, and us not having to worry about you guys is really nice. You're always around, you know how to take care of yourselves as divers, and your skill level is obviously exemplary as a result. It makes the diving much more enjoyable when your skill level is strong. But not only the safety aspect from our perspective, but also meeting the objectives. With this very strong focus and objectives that we have on the program, it allows everyone to really develop those skills. And I think the icing on the cake is that the students care so much about the environment they're in. They would be horrified and totally mortified if they broke a piece of coral. And that driving force makes them... They are so responsible. It's excellent. It really is. So for me, summing it up, I love this program. It's my favourite group of the year. It's always a highlight of my year. And I can only really thank you for your years of support and bringing these people to us and allowing us to be a part of it. It's a total pleasure for me.
And I can only return the compliment, because I love coming here. And it's a bit sorry to go now. And I love the combination of, they always completely, and we had to make a big point at the start, don't worry, there is not much guidance and structure, because we want you to structure it and to develop that skill. And they always do. The first year I came, I was very scared that it might end up in total chaos. It did no such thing.
No.
The students are very resourceful, and given the proper guidance, fancy idea turns into a quite viable research project. the data will never be strong. We're only collecting for 6-9 dives. But in many cases, it's very good case studies which would warrant a follow-up. So, and they really, really, really enjoy the process of getting their own ideas and developing it out. And yes, if their ideas is looking for coral bleaching, well, we can say we've got now 3 years of data, and they lap it up, really. But that has been the core, and I'm safe. I know that. You guys are friendly, competent, and and not too serious about these things.
Well, serious enough, but we've got to keep fun element in our sport and in our programs. And we want everyone to come and have a good time, but safely. That's all our objective. And they leave more enriched from the experience. So that's definitely objective met this year. And you just said that you're sad to leave and go back to the Welsh Valleys. But you will be in 2027 joining us over the Easter period.
Yes.
So you won't be that long until we see you again.
Nope. It will be, students numbers permitting, we'll be back roughly end of March, early April. Time yet to be confirmed completely, but it will be along the Easter recess. The dates are set.
Well, we're going to look forward to seeing you back again.
Look forward to
I want to thank
again.
you for talking to me, because this is really nice for us to show people what we do here, and you have the opportunity to talk about your program as well.
Yep.
I'm sure we could sit here all day, but we do have now some work to do. So thanks for your time, Carsten. It's been a true pleasure. And thank you for all your years of coming here. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for supporting us and bearing with us, and and a very weird bunch of because you have to deal with 1.5 German and half Swede on the course all the time.
Well, I'm from London, so if you can understand anything I say, at least you've had a result. So that's good.
We do.
All right, let's wrap it up. Okay. Thanks a lot, Carsten.
Thanks, Richard.
Happy 200th!